Hi, I'm Aisher, and in this video we'll be looking at some of the modulation tools available in Cubase. So I've got a track set up here and it's playing a pad. And we can dive in and go straight to the audio inserts and start looking at some of the modulation effects available. Now, the simplest of these tend to fall into the categories of things like chorus, flanging, vibrato, and things like that. So let's dive in by looking at the chorus and just see what that does. I'm going to open the window here, and let's play the sound. So you can see a core part of a modulation plugin is an oscillator, a low frequency oscillator, something that modulates or changes a parameter and the speed with which the parameter changes. If it's very slow, we can move to very fast and it's wobbling that pitch. When you have the width relatively low and a moderate modulation rate, it means you get this nice thickening of the sound. So chorus is great for actually adding interest, thickening all kinds of different sounds by adding that slightly wavering pitch element to it. We can go for something a little bit more extreme. If we open up the flanger, now here the window looks very similar, but this time you notice there's a feedback control. And at really extreme settings, it really adds this quite harsh edge. In effect, the flanger is really a form of chorus with the feedback. So it's audio with the feedback added to the circuits. The output is actually being fed back into the input. So in this case, the modulation is being controlled by an LFO, but you can also control it manually. So that's another very common form of modulation effect. We might also look at something like the phaser. Again, a similar control set. We have this central modulation section which actually determines the speed of the modulation. We have feedback again. Now, like chorus and flanging, the phaser is actually built around, they're very often, the original units for these, the analog units, are built around very short delay lines and actually how those delayed signals are mixed in with the original signal. Now, we can also look at other modulation type effects. We have something like vibrato, and this is a little bit more straightforward in the sense that we have no mix control here. We can just waver the pitch of the signal. The spatial adds a more stereo element to it. And you can see there are a whole bunch of other modulation effects, things like auto panning and other kinds that exist in Cubase and actually come with the package itself. We have an even more advanced version of chorus called Studio Chorus. So you can see how the modulation effects in Cubase allow you to add a little bit of interest to sounds. They very often are controlled by an LFO, a low frequency oscillator, which modulates the change of the actual sound. We have chorus, flanging, vibrato, phasing, and many others.